All right, so you're thinking about relocating to the Pacific Northwest, but you're one of those people that are like asking yourself, do we really want to live in the suburbs? Do we really want to live in the inner city? Well, today I'm going to show you a honeypot, a sweet honeypot that checks both of those boxes just outside of the inner city stuff you might not want to deal with or be around, but it also has that charm of what makes the Pacific Northwest and Portland absolutely magical. So what we're gonna roll through today, the different types of houses, which I'm personally most excited about. The diversity of architecture is insane. We stretch over 125 years of different types of property and real estate. I can't wait to show you. So that's the first thing. We're gonna go over property types. Now, the second thing we're gonna do is what to do. What is your day and your week gonna be like living in this little honeypot? Entertainment, food, groceries, parks, all that good stuff. And of course, I will go over the traffic, the places to be and to not to be. Finally, we're gonna hit down price so we can really dial in the areas that are gonna fit your personal budget and financial comfort level. So let's get the tour started right away. So first, what's awesome about this area really is the food scene. That might seem a little cliche. A lot of people talk about, oh, the Pacific Northwest and Portland has the best food. If you're a foodie, you gotta be there. But seriously, this specific spot has over 25 different restaurants, 22 different food carts, all within a span of about 14 blocks. It's insane. I mean, you've got German, you've got breweries, you've got coffee shops, Thai, Chinese, American, French. That's just the standalone restaurants. Then you got food carts. Personally, my wife, she loves food carts. She's the type that wants to have a bite of like 20 different things. So we typically hit the food carts just because, you know, it's easier that way. You can get a sample of everything. But the food scene is freaking awesome in this area. I mean, any sort of cuisine you want, you got it. The one typical thing you gotta know though is when you come down here, sorry, I'm gonna hit this branch. When you come down here, the parking can be challenging. So the main through street in this area can be tough to find a spot, but literally you go a couple blocks into the residential area, you can find something, no problem. Second to that point, you get a lot of people on bikes. This is Bike Town, USA. So you've got people all going through the bike lanes, plenty of places to lock up your bicycle, tons of families around here that are pushing strollers, walking dogs. 99% of all of these establishments for eating and drinking are also gonna allow pets. So whether you have kids or furry babies or both, this is gonna be an awesome place for you to go enjoy an evening out on the town. Now, when it comes to your day-to-day, weekly lifestyle living in this part of the town, you gotta know a couple things. Number one, you're very, very located to a through bridge that can connect north and south. Now, that's a pro and a con because if you need to get into the city, it's a jump, a shoot, a skate. I don't think that's a real thing, but it's very short to get over and into the city if you need to go to that for work or an event or whatnot. Now, you do need to understand that with Portland being a bridge town, sometimes there's some congestion. So what's great about this bridge in this neighborhood, it was actually restored about 10 to 12 years ago, and they added lanes, they added a little more thought with the exiting lanes, which has brought a lot of relief to the congestion of the traffic. Now, a lot of people ask us when we meet with them on Zoom and plan out their visit and their relocation, they ask us, what's the traffic like? Now, to me, I'm born and raised in Portland. I've seen this town really grow in population over the last probably 2 decades. Traffic is all about context and where you're coming from. So when we help families from California relocate, this traffic is a blip. If you're coming from the Midwest or more of a rural area, you're absolutely gonna feel like a little more traffic's in hand. Now, I wouldn't say it's too bad. When it comes to the bridge in this area, At worst, you're looking at a 3 to 6 minute wait to get over. On the weekend, today it's Sunday, wasn't even a problem, no wait, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I do think traffic is one thing to consider. Now, let's say you need to go grab groceries, fill up the fridge, stock up for the week or the month or whatnot. You've got a couple different options. Your most popular is gonna be New Seasons grocery store, all organic, amazing stuff. I've got dogs walking left and right on me, so cute. Look at this little guy, hey buddy. New Seasons is gonna be your most popular grocery store. Just on the other side of the bridge, couple minute drive, like I said, you're gonna have Zupans. I don't know if you guys have a Zupans where you're at, but Zupans is very similar to a New Seasons or a Whole Foods, very high level, organic, really healthy food and groceries. Now, another option that is extremely popular, it'd probably be about a 2-mile drive or a bicycle, would be Trader Joe's. So everybody loves Trader Joe's. So you'd have 3 really good grocery options. Now, if you're needing to do the big stock up like Costco, your closest Costco is really gonna be a little bit further south, about a 20-minute drive. So when you need the TP, the Waterloos, the beer, the wine, the meats, the big stock ups, you're gonna make a little day trip to get those amenities as well. So that hits us on the grocery items. I would say too, on the day-to-day, week-to-week, you have accessibility to a lot of parks. So let's say, oh, Addie, well, I don't eat out that often, you know, once a week, once a month or something like that. That's fine. The lifestyle of the Pacific Northwest is being outdoors, rain or shine, as much as possible. So this neighborhood gives you accessibility to multiple parks that are waterfront, which what's unique about Portland, and I don't even know if it's unique, it's unfortunate, it's really hard to get waterfront access from a real estate. It's super, real estate perspective, it's super, super protected. Now there is a park literally about 10 football fields from where I'm talking right now that is right on the Willamette River. You can take your dogs, your kids, you can ride your bike, you can go down to Oaks Park, which has rides and all this fun stuff. If you're willing to cross over on the bridge and just walk over, you have over 4 miles of waterfront trail to bike, hike, or walk. It is awesome. You could literally go all the way from here where your house is through downtown Portland, go to the Saturday market, go to the jazz festival, go to the beer festival. You could do all that without getting in your car. I would say for this neighborhood, it's easily one of the top 3 or 4 places that people always are at least minimum interested in hearing about, but it is that location and accessibility to all of what's great about the area without it being this whole like, oh, we're gonna spend a quarter day driving there. So couple good tips for you there. I think that's super beneficial when you're considering this area. Here's just a quick example. I'm right here in front of this New Seasons. I don't know if I can get that. Yep, right there, that's the New Seasons grocery store. And no joke, in the actual parking lot, we are at a food cart and beer garden of the New Seasons. I mean, only in this area are you going to be seeing this type of blended accommodations, we'll call it. I just think that's so cool. I wanted to put that, I mean, literally you can go to New Seasons, get your groceries. What if you're on a partner team situation, you could freaking go in there, grab groceries, have a beer and hang out with the kiddos. No one's got to worry about it. I think that's really cool. There's a lot of a lifestyle kind of change rather than like all these weekend things being tasks and stuff you got to do. It's a lifestyle. It's a Saturday. We're going to enjoy it. We're out here in some of the most beautiful weather year round. But anyways, I wanted to show you that New Seasons because that's a big deal. But let's transition into the actual real estate and what options are out here. So what's unique about this area is you really have a grab bag of mixed architecture and housing options. So one of the most sought after is like your original Portland vibes with that porch, and the home might be 70, 80, 90 years old. People love that stuff. It's got charm, it's got character. it is absolutely somebody's dream. Some of the downside might be the upkeep on the property. However, real estate agents, lenders, appraisers, inspectors are very used to overcoming repairs and keeping properties within code. Now, why people really do like the older homes, outside of just the charm, is some of the older homes were built in the 1900s, right? This is around World War I, World War II, and they were built with basements. Now, fast forward 100 plus years, those basements have been converted into more square footage of living spaces. So it's extremely common here to have a downstairs living space with 1 to 2 bedrooms with a bathroom, maybe a gym or a workout, a home office. And really, outside of adding plumbing into those basements, assuming that the integrity of the foundation is there, is egress windows. So back in the day, they used to put these tiny little windows, just like peep through basement windows. And now there's a certain dimension that needs to be inputted to suffice the codes for an escape, whatever it might be. But that is something that we are very finely tuned on managing, whether it's inspecting the property and making sure it's sound and up to code before you purchase it. But also, if you're thinking, hey, what potential do I have here, Addy, Listy? Could we convert this? These are things that we can help you through. We lean on all of our relationships, our teams of builders, contractors, inspectors to get you a quote, get an estimate, see if it's something that you want to move forward on. Real quick, I'm going to stay in the same subject, but wanted to point out, this is an example of an original Portland home that's been converted into a shop. So you have tea shop, herb shops, this is a VHS movie and record store. All these cute little charming things that were reconstructed from original real estate. So going from the old to the newer, oops, camera flip. My bad. Going from the old to the new. The new is super interesting. There's a lot of really neat modern complexes. Now you're gonna have some condos. So you'll see infill modern buildings that are really gonna be more apartments and condos. And this is because the city is really trying to create more housing opportunities. The mayor of the state has targeted 6,000 to 8,000 new units year over year as a target construction goal. Now, what they're doing to jet fuel that is removal of all restrictions for units per lot. And what I mean by that is now any builder can come onto a lot and they could put a duplex, a fourplex. You as a homeowner can split your lot and sell it off or build another property on it. So there's a lot of flexibility in how many units you can fit on one single lot. But what's to come is the county is actually proposing that they waive all builder fees for development and construction for the next 3 years. This is a proposal right now. And added into that proposal is a relief and reduction to property taxes for the homeowner. So you are gonna see in the next couple of years, probably starting this summer or fall, a lot of incentive to relocate to this area, and you definitely want to keep an eye out. And these are things, especially me being on the financing side, I am constantly having to stay in the loop on. So we're reading, we're building relationships, staying up to speed on the politics and the bills being passed so that our clients can leverage any sort of opportunity, because you know I hate taxes, to reduce the taxes, reduce the price, and reduce the monthly payment. So setting aside the big building, apartments, and condos, a very popular move here in Portland is to take a large full lot and go ahead and cut that in half and infill it with a brand new construction home. So like I had mentioned, there's a ton of incentives to get into these new homes because of what we're doing to spur up the housing market. What you need to be aware of, a couple different things. Number one, new doesn't always mean better. It really depends on the builder. And that's why you have to trust in the team. Our team has these relationships with builders and understands who's building good, sound properties and who is not. The second thing is a little more of a personal one. This is the yard situation. So a lot of times places that are brand new, the lot's been cut. So the yard is really, really small. Now, if you adapt to the lifestyle and you're walking out and enjoying the parks, enjoying, taking the dogs and the kids out in the actual neighborhood and community, yard doesn't play as big of a role for someone, say, in the suburbs. I just want to point out really quick, we are, wrong side. We're in front of Columbia Sportswear here in this area. So Columbia Sportswear was founded here. It's an Oregon company. A lot of people wear this. So Columbia also owns Sorel and Mountain Hardware. So if you're a fan of those three brands, you will see that everywhere here in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so I promise you I'm gonna go over price and specifically where we are here in this charming little area. But I wanna do a quick walkthrough. So a lot of times, people are like, oh, I wanna live in this neighborhood. Addie, what would you do in regards to the best investment? So one thing to understand about this neighborhood is because it's super sought after, there is a ton of competition or the house is just sitting. So we have a couple different scenarios. If there's a lot of competition, you have to be ready to move and have everything dialed in, from your plan, your financing, the timeline, if you need a quick close, all of this stuff. And that's something that our team does an amazing job. So I just want to encourage you, if you're planning to even visit, or if you have a set date or you're curious, we want to hear from you and we want to help you out. This is what we've done. Oh, hello, how are you? Good, I'm doing a little YouTube video right now. You want to say hi from a distance? Okay. So I just want to encourage you to take advantage of our team. We know what we're doing, we're trusted, we're the original channel, we love doing these videos, but even more, we love helping you. And we love being your trusted resource when you're thinking, planning, or making that hump into trying to purchase a home here in Portland. So make sure you hit us on that text message, email, whatever it takes. We want to hear from you. So getting out of all of that real quick, back to the Addie, what would you do? For me, it goes back down to this decision of getting an original home that's over 100 years old and brand new. Personally, right now, there's a lot of confidence that I have in buying the new home. Now, like I'd mentioned, you're gonna be giving up that yard space, but if I were to live in this area, I wouldn't be as concerned with the yard because I'd be out on my scooter, my bike, with my dog, with my friends. I'd be constantly in the community and that would be my lifestyle. So as long as I had a little bit of space and it was kind of low maintenance, do a garden, just some low maintenance stuff, I think I'd be happy. I love the newer builds and the terms that you're typically gonna get a 1-year builder warranty. This is big. That first year, there ain't nothing you gotta worry about in the house. If there is, you fill out a form and go through the process to have the builder fix it. And my little tip is at about month or 10 of home ownership, my wife and I did this on our house, we do a re-inspection. So I pay a few $100s, get our inspector out there, give us the whole 50, 60 page report sheet. Anything that comes up as a yellow or red flag, we're gonna ask the builder to fix it before the 1 year because we're under warranty. So I do love it for that. Now the older homes, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. If you are a work from home and you need office, like a lot of the families that reach out to us, they're like homeschooling. You've got 1 or 2 people working from home. You need space. You need an area that you can separate from family, life, day to day, and focus on work and what makes the gears move. I think that basement opportunity and the multi-unit flexibility the city is giving builders here and remodelers here is prime. So if you think a little bit bigger, hey, what's most important with me and my family, we can really break down what houses are gonna be best for you and your situation and make, this next house one to remember. So that is my whole breakdown on how I answer that question. Secondly, finally, and then I promise I'm gonna go into price and location. Here's one thing that people fall for a lot when they try to buy in this area. They're looking on Redfin and you're seeing all these different options and you're like, oh my gosh, this one is going. Or this one is really, really cheap. I would try your best not to be right on the main streets of where all those beautiful restaurants and shops are. And here's why, just so much noise and foot traffic. I think it'd be super cool if you were in one of the condos, up, elevated view, you're not hearing the noise, but often you see these houses that are right on the snuff, on the busy area. They're gonna be a little bit cheaper because just like backing in and out of them is a total pain. You're hearing all this noise and foot traffic and cars. So if you're someone like me, that just bothers me. I don't think it's worth it. And I always tell my clients too, remember folks, it's always going to sell very similar to the way that you bought it. Now what I mean by that is, if you bought something that was sitting on the market for a long time because of location, the driveway, the traffic, the noise, that problem is not gonna go away when you eventually wanna upgrade homes or relocate once again. So that's something to really, really keep in mind when you're choosing the homes. Picking some just a few blocks off the busy traffic throughways is probably gonna be worth a little bit of a higher price tag than trying to get something cheaper on the busy. So enough of that, but let's run into price point. So out here, it's very interesting. It's a little bit of a higher price point, or we're gonna go over taxes too. I promise you that. Oh, and location. Actually, let's just back up. Let's back it up. We're backing out of the parking spot, but we're staying in the parking lot, all right? So we are located in the Sellwood Moreland part. So just probably 4 to 5 minutes from the actual city of Portland, and we're probably about 8 to 10 minutes from the city of Lake Oswego. Now, this is an awesome location. Literally, like, being that close to all the awesomeness in Portland, but then also being close to the burbs, if that's the way to go, the parks, the water access, all that amazing stuff, highly sought after. So we are in the Sellwood Moreland area. What's crazy about Sellwood Moreland from a price standpoint, you are going to see a big range. You're starting for like a 3-2 home is really gonna be in that 625 to 750. That's just to get the conversation going. Now, a really good budget, really good budget for Sellwood Moreland would be about 900 to $1 million. You'll see a range here, I just looked on Redfin. Your lowest was about 550, a 1-1, really tiny lot, really was a flip, it was a project. But going all the way up to 1.5, 1.6 million for those big lots, 3,000 and up square footage. Now, I'm down here at the Sellwood Park and there's in Oaks Park and there's a big bike run event. This is really common here, guys. Every single weekend kicking off from spring all the way through summer, there's almost always an event. The Shamrock Run, the Breast Cancer Foundation, charity run, bike runs, all these different things. So this is a part of what's going on around here. I'm gonna see if I can wiggle my way around. Sorry, bear with me. You see all this going on here? Got all these runners, all this stuff. So that price range going all the way up to 1.5, 1.6 million. Now, let's say that doesn't fit your budget, and let's say you might have additional family members coming this way, because that happens a lot too. You might relocate out here and then grandma and grandpa, nana, papa, they're coming along too, especially with the cost of healthcare and all that stuff. Now this area, Sellwood Moreland, has a fantastic condo community for any age, but also specifically 55 and up, 65 and up areas. And that's gonna be breathtaking because a lot of them are all inclusive. There's different packages in these things, but those condos are great for retirees to still be in a community, be around park, nature, the Pacific Northwest lifestyle, but also own a home. And for some reason, people love that water. They love being down there. There's even houseboats. I'll try to get some drone of that. But there's a community of houseboat living down here. But really, if you want to make Sellwood Moreland happen, you're struggling at that 750. You're gonna have to make quite a bit of compromises, whether it's location, lot size, condition of the home. 9 to 1 million really is where the conversation starts. Now, let's talk about taxes. In this area, you are technically in Multnomah County, and that's gonna be on one of the higher tax brackets. Average is 0.95 or 1% of the total sales price when purchasing a new home. Now, one trick that you can look for. Now in Multnomah, property taxes are assessed locally by the county at their discretion. There's no like schedule of events and reassessment. Often, if you're pulling some sort of permit, the county's gonna wanna know and they might send an assessor out there. But one way to purchase a home in this area at a cheaper price tax is actually buying an older home or buying a home of which, sorry, this person's letting me cross. Buying a home of which someone has lived in for a long time because it hasn't been assessed. I've seen homes of values of $750,000, sometimes up to $1 million, and the property taxes are well reduced, like 50% or more lower than the average current new build. So that's one thing to look for, but a system that we've built out and helping our people relocate between myself and the team, before your offer on a place, what we do is verify the taxes, get an insurance quote, and update the terms to your financing. Why that's important? We've spent a long time helping relocation clients. Specifically through YouTube, this is all we do, guys. 90-something% of our people from all around the world, the United States, coming to the Pacific Northwest. Our system is built to help people that aren't moving across the street. That's a different anxiety level, different planning. Yes, you gotta move all your stuff, bring it over. But the kicker for that, guys, when you're coming across the country, we wanna measure twice and cut once. So we will always give you the fine details of the financing and the offer before you sign it. And that's one of these integrity core pillars to how we do things. We don't have the wiggle room or the slack for our people to be blindsided. Our top priority is to reduce that anxiety and stress level, and a key component is running all the numbers to as much accuracy as humanly possible. So I think that gives us a real dive into price, different property types that are available here, and lifestyle. That's the biggest thing, folks. If you wanna be somewhere where you feel alive, the energy is up, you wanna be outdoors, but you want the uniqueness of the restaurants and the parks and the events and the bike, run, hop, skip, charity things, and immerse yourself into that culture and lifestyle, this is a place that you absolutely need to check out, and I cannot wait until I hear from you and we get to know more about you and your journey. So if you're visiting, if you're moving, if we can be a resource to you, you gotta hit us up, and we are doing videos all the time. So if you wanna check out another one, another vlog, another home tour, stay with us and hit this little button right here. And until next time, folks, we will catch you later.